When the season kicked off back in August, few observers of Italian football would have correctly predicted the identity of Serie A's leading goal scorers. An Argentine at Inter, certainly.
This is Lautaro Martinez, still going Martinez! Inter 2, breakthrough!
A Portuguese at Milan, possibly.
Leao, over the keeper, and in for the equaliser!
But an Englishman at Udinese?
Davis! That should do it for Udinese!
When I've played in the past, at any team I've been at, I've never really been the number one striker. Before the season started, I knew, of course, with Luca leaving and also Tovon leaving, I knew I'd have some sort of responsibility to play this season. So I knew this coming into the season, so I just prepared myself. And then the manager also put this on me, like, this season, we're going to need you to step up. So I just took this on board and yeah, hope it's working out at the moment.
When coach Costa took charge of Udinese in the summer of 2024, he inherited a squad that had only just avoided relegation. Keinan Davis's late strike against Frosinone had kept them up.
Hassan Kamara. Luca is underneath it. Luca brings it down. Davis! It's his first Udinese goal!
But that alone was not enough to thrust him into the German starting lineup on a regular basis. Their relationship suffered as the months went by, but as players moved on and the coach's options became fewer, he turned increasingly towards the combative frontman.
Of course, because I'm playing more now, he has put more trust in me now, so we have more conversations in comparison to last year where it wasn't too close. I wasn't playing and I was injured a lot, so it's difficult. Our relationship has improved. It was never bad, but it was just never as close as it was now.
On the pitch, Davis has benefited from the arrival of a player who many Italians expected to be a generational talent. Niccolò Zaniolo has never quite matched the hype, but he is still capable of moments of brilliance.
Buxa, and now Zaniolo! Fantastic technique from Udinese's number 10.
And such is his talent, Zaniolo doesn't always need to dazzle to bring the best out of those around him.
Yeah, 100%, of course. He's attracting 2-3 players at a time, because of how strong he is. And they know they can't leave him 1v1, so when they all go to him, it's going to create a lot of space for me and vice versa. So he definitely has played a part this season and contributing to the goals or the assists I've had, definitely.
And those goal contributions have thrust him into the wider conversation for a place in England's World Cup squad. He played and scored for the Three Lions at youth level, and there are few English players who have found the net as often as he has this season. He's stronger physically and mentally, and opposing defences are feeling the brunt.
I would say mentally. I would definitely say mentally. Obviously moving away from England and just having a responsibility, but in a different way to I'm out here just with my family, but I know football-wise I'm on my own, so I have to build my reputation just off of what I do on the pitch. So definitely mentality-wise has been the biggest improvement, I would say.
Settled on the pitch, how's life off it? After all, Udine doesn't offer the bright lights or tourist attractions of Milan or Rome.
I enjoy it a lot. It helps obviously when you're playing well, and people, when they see you in restaurants and the supermarket, they're very kind to you. They was kind to me before I'd done well anyway, so. But yeah, everyone's very nice and just very polite, when they ask for a photo or anything like this. So the city is very good and it's a top place to live.
As for the team that people of Udine come to watch, they're very much a fixture in Italy's top division. Udinese have now spent more than 30 straight seasons in Serie A. That became possible by scouting young prospects, a business model that Davis and his teammates are very much on board with.
They always bring in a lot of talent. As we've seen in the past, they bring in a lot of talent and move them on. They're bringing the right players at the right time. We saw last year, obviously, with Lorenzo Luca, with Beto, and even further back, like Alexis Sanchez, players that you're not too familiar with, and then a couple of years and they go to bigger teams. So they're very good at scouting the right players. So they bring the right players in at the right time, they can definitely go very far.
But probably not as far as the giants of the Italian game. Udinese have never won Serie A and will always struggle to attract the players who head straight to the bigger clubs. And it's at one of those that the striker Davis most admires continues to make his mark.
Lautaro Martinez, he's number one in strikers as well, but not even just this season, but every season he's consistently putting up high numbers, you know. Plays for the best team, and he's a top scorer for them.
Lautaro Martinez! 2 minutes in, the skipper ends his brief goal drought in Serie A.
Lautaro is the benchmark, and not by chance. Across all competitions, only the Argentine, Napoli's Rasmus Højlund, and Como's Tasos Duvikas have outscored the Englishman, who's been enjoying his best professional season with 10 goals to his name. And importantly, he's been fit for most of the campaign, something he couldn't achieve in his first 2 years in Italy. If Davis wants to keep hopes of that World Cup call-up alive, staying injury-free will be key.
When you know that you're gonna play and you have to play, maybe there's something to your body where you're just more prepared mentally. For me, this is the reason why I've not been as injured as I have been in the past. And because the manager was telling me I'm gonna play, you know, so maybe this played a part. But yeah, of course we'll never know.